guys? Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. And this guy, he shares his story about what happens when you get involved with a girl that's got daddy issues. Okay? What happens if you not only get involved with a gal like that, but also when you act and play the Mr. Nice Guy role. And how badly he was taken advantage of, how much he obviously went through a lot of drama and hurt and just all sorts of BS that could have been avoided if the guy obviously had a lot of knowledge that he now has and learned the hard way, and understood that when it comes to girls that have daddy issues and issues with their family, you need to avoid them like the plague, because it's going to only bring drama and turmoil into your life. And of course, like I said in the beginning, what happens when you are the typical nice guy and just allow yourself to be taken advantage of and mistreated? He shares his story, and I'm going to go through this, guys, and break down all the different things so that way he probably knows a lot of the things that went wrong. But also, he may have been missed a lot of things or didn't see things from a certain way. So I'm going to point these things out as I share his story. But also for you guys to do dating relationships, you can use his story and see where he went wrong to help you guys that you don't end up in a situation like that. And for a lot of you guys who have been following me for a while, probably as I read through this story, you're probably going to know how I'm going to respond before I even say it. So just for fun, listen to the story and see how you think I'm going to respond. And if you respond the way I do, then obviously means you've been learning something. But anyhow, I'm going to jump right into it. He says, howdy SSM. I'm a relatively new listener. I've been a subscriber/listener for about a year now. I'm leaving my own name out of this for anonymity purposes. I am a 22-year-old male. I am a former nice guy and former beta man. I made all the mistakes in my last relationship and allowed myself to be taken advantage of by the girl. I'll call her J. I was 21 at the time of the story also. I definitely learned my lesson the hard way, unfortunately. Dude, we've all been there. I guarantee the majority of guys watching this right now, wherever you are, either in this country, in the United States, or different parts of the world, the vast majority of us made a lot of mistakes when we were younger and didn't know any better. We didn't have anybody to teach us these things. For a lot of us, especially ones that are older, we didn't have YouTube to listen to guys give advice. We certainly weren't out there buying books about this. We'd be embarrassed to get books like that, at least back in the day, certainly when I was younger. And a lot of the mistakes that people do in these stories I go over, I made them too. Okay, I'd be a liar if I said that I had it all figured out and together when I was younger. I made plenty of mistakes. I learned the hard way. And so I do this to help a lot of younger guys in particular not make the same mistakes I and many others before me made. Because otherwise, why go through all the hurt and frustration and financial ruin and all the stuff that can happen when you can obviously learn the hard way? I mean, you can learn from other people that learn the hard way. There's a silver lining to the things I went through when I was younger that I can help you guys, and then it was worth it in one way or another. So don't feel bad. It is what it is. He says, during one of my semesters at college, I met Jay via Tinder. Tinder, dude? You met a girl that you're going to get into a relationship with on Tinder? Tinder is for hookups. Nothing more. Tinder is pretty much and has been a cesspool. And many of you know this. So it is not to find girlfriends, okay? And it's to no surprise, as you're going to see here, guys, as I get more into this, the type of girl she is matches up completely with the Tinder stereotype. Total Tinderella. She was extremely sweet, and we were friends for over a year before dating. Dude, you met this girl on Twinder. I can't talk right today. Tinder, and you were friends with her for a year before you started dating? So one of two things happened here, I'm guessing. Either you liked her a lot, but you simply didn't have the confidence to ask her out, and you figured you'd go through the friendship route, showing her how much of a nice guy you were, until you finally couldn't take it anymore and asked her out. Or option B, you did ask her out, but she just saw you as a friend, but she wanted to keep you around just in case, as backup, as they call the male orbiters. And you probably went along with it because you liked her so much, waiting for your chance, getting in line. That's one of those two things probably happened while she was out with the dude she really liked. He says, I was head over heels and ignored all the red flags, which came far sooner than I realized. She identified as bi, which it turned out she most definitely was not. and claimed to want to explore her options prior to dating me. Translation, she wants to go for the type of guys you weren't, but again, keep you around just in case as backup, that she could text you whenever she wanted, and she would know that, boom, like that, you'd respond to her text. You'd be more than happy to meet her out or take her out, drinks, food, hang out, listen to her talk about all her damn problems, that type. Again, I've done this crap when I was younger. I get it. Believe me. Don't do that, guys. Girl isn't interested in dating. You're interested in a girl, dating her. You're interested in her romantically. And if she just wants you to be her friend, or I just see you just as a friend, or some line like that, walk away. Just say, hey, I'm interested in dating. I'm not interested in being your friend. But if you reach out to me later on if things change, something like that. But don't just be her friend, because you don't want to be her friend, and she knows it. And she can just dangle you around and take advantage. And many of you guys know this. If you're interested in a girl and she doesn't want it, move on. End of story. Don't be that guy. He says, I, being madly in love with her, went along with it because I didn't think I had any other options, and I had really low self-esteem. Dude, that's what a lot of guys do. They don't think they have many options. They don't think themselves very high value. And again, you were 21 years old. Okay, a guy's prime really happens later on. These are the years that we have to go through all the initiation, if you will, and the hard times to learn everything. So, it is what it is. But, there are guys, obviously, your age, 21, that do have a higher self-esteem, but it's much more rare. But when you have a high self-esteem, when you definitely understand your value, you're not going to put up with crap like this. And so I guarantee this guy, after what he experienced, never would he do this again. So I went along with it and then ended up dating her even after she told me she never engaged in any of her desired exploration. Yeah, sure. What probably happened was she was doing lots and lots of exploration, if she called it. We call it riding the carousel. And because she probably couldn't get the type of guy that she really wanted to be her boyfriend or whatever, she settled for you. Okay, the Mr. Nice Guy, because it was better than nothing, and she could have you around. And then if she got bored, no problem. She could break up with you, just say I'm not feeling it, or something like that, and move on. So I started dating her officially, and it was great. We spent time together fairly often, and my friends who she met all thought that she was great. She even helped us TP a friend's car one night as a prank just for fun. However, it didn't stay wonderful and great for very long. Pretty quickly, she dropped the bomb of, I'm going to be a surrogate parent for my best friend. That's different. Her best friend being a man who preferred the company of other men. She was unrelenting on this, no matter how much I objected, and eventually I just stopped trying to argue since it never got me anywhere. I was too worn out and too exhausted and stressed out with school, as college was in session at the time. Well, dude, unfortunately, you weren't in a strong negotiating position because you were way more into the relationship than she was. She knew this. She knew that you were way more into her than she was into you, so she's going to be able to do whatever she wants. Because at the end of the day, if you didn't go along what she wanted, she knows darn well she could replace you. That's the attitude there. On the other hand, if the situation was reversed and she saw you as the prize that she was getting, and she knew that you were high value, you had good self-esteem, you had options to other women, you could literally say, okay, I obviously can't change your mind about this whole being a surrogate thing, which is weird, by the way. I can't change your mind about that, so okay, fine. I'm moving on because I'm not going to have a girlfriend who's going to be pregnant with some other dude's baby, who we're not going to be sleeping together very much. Who's going to be going through mood swings and morning sickness and all. I didn't sign up for that, so I'm moving on, and I'm going to go back to dating. And hey, I hope it works out. If you did something like that, I guarantee if she saw you as a prize, she probably would have changed her mind to keep you. But since she knew she had the upper hand, she could do what she wants. See what I'm talking about? Learn from this, guys. He continues. Now listen to this. She had issues with her family. She detested her parents and family because they were all crazy. Her mom was sick, and her dad was mentally unstable, and her stepdad was indifferent to everything, and her brother was a lazy bum who refused to work. So now we're getting to the bottom of things. She's got a very bad relationship with her family. All of them. Mom, dad, stepdad, and brother. Every single one of them. Guys, if you're going to do relationships, you want a girl that has a good relationship with her family. Really loves her dad, looks up to him, respects him, because that's going to make things a lot better for you. Now, a lot of women they can butt heads with their moms. That's kind of common in varying degrees, but not too much. We don't want too much. But the point is, this is a bad situation. And girls that have daddy issues definitely come from a lot of turmoil in the family. And mark my words, for those of you guys that haven't experienced this yet, you get involved with a girl like that, that turmoil, that drama is going to come into your life one way or another. Mark my words. So if you could start dating a girl early on, ask about her family. Ask about them. How do you get along with them? Say, I have a great relationship with my parents. Oh, how about you? And if she says, oh, it's great, we have a great time together, I just love them so much, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. On the other hand, if she says that, oh, God, they drive me crazy, they're messed up and I can't stand them and a number of things, check, please. Get out of there, because it's not going to go well for you. It says here, she was also a nursing student, but was borderline failing, complaining because she missed exams and was struggling, but wouldn't listen to any of my suggestions to help and refused to let me try and help. Yeah, this guy's trying to lay out, okay, do this to get yourself back on track, but it's not happening. So, messed up girl with the family, with the issues with the family, met her on Tinder. What else? Wants to be a surrogate, is doing shitty in school. This is not someone you want to be with, okay? Because the decisions you make in your 20s, I would say from 16 to 25, determine pretty much how your life's going to go. So in college, you want to have a girl as a girlfriend who's going somewhere like you, a teammate, if you will, if you're doing relationships. He says, also, she was very S-word hungry and didn't want to take things slow. And I was inexperienced at the time and, of course, rather nervous. Oh, imagine that. A girl with daddy issues that's S-word hungry. These girls that don't get the love and affection and support and comfort from their dads eventually, in varying degrees, get it elsewhere. In some cases, with every dude in town. So this doesn't surprise me to hear this. Eventually, things started to sour when she flat out refused to come visit me, when she lived only 20 minutes away from where I was living at the time. There was always an excuse, and most of them were pitiful, such as, my neck hurt. Things reached a peak when my 22nd birthday dinner with my parents came around. I invited Jay, and she said she would come if she wasn't working. Yeah, guys, always pay attention to people's actions. When she was complaining that she can't come see him because her neck hurt or some dumbass excuse, when she's only 20 minutes away, pay attention to actions. Not just from women, but from everybody in life, okay? And, she might be able to go to his birthday dinner. Does that show you guys, these red flags, does it show you that she's really into him? No. She just doesn't have any other options, but she's keeping him around. But we all know probably darn well that she probably is getting it somewhere else on the side. Unfortunately for this poor guy, he wasn't experienced enough, and he had the blinders on because he didn't want to see the truth. The night of the birthday came, and she changed her reasoning to, I can't come, it's game night with my parents. And this confused me to no end because, as far as I knew, she hated her parents. Right, that's what it said in the beginning of the story. She couldn't stand them. But now all of a sudden it's game night, so I don't, No, she just wants an excuse to not be around this dude. That's why. She literally is feeding him just enough scraps, just enough breadcrumbs to keep him coming back. That's it. Let's see here. So needless to say, my birthday dinner was just me and my parents since another friend had been invited, but he wasn't able to make it. That sucks. Another red flag. Guys, gotta pay attention to these red flags. Not only was this the case, but soon after, she got extremely jealous of other people. If she wasn't coming over to see me, which was often, me and my friends would hang out and drink and have fun, since I live within walking distance of multiple friends of mine, so I just go hang out and party with them a little bit and have fun. Good. That's good you're hanging out with your friends. You're definitely doing that right, okay? And your friends are probably telling you, dude, what's wrong with you? Get away from this girl. She's nothing but trouble. But we've all been there, didn't listen to our friends, and you all know how that works out. Now, understand, sometimes friends can be jealous, so you got to be careful. But in this situation, obviously, the friends are right, and this girl is a train wreck. He says, Jay was clearly jealous of when I go out with my guy friends. And she seemed to hate the fact that I drink alcohol, even though she herself drank alcohol also. So she's controlling as well. She doesn't want you to meet other girls. She doesn't want you to have fun with your friends, so that way you're all 100% committed to her. And that way she can do whatever she wants. But if you're actually having fun with your friends, and maybe you're out and about and meet some other girl, you might kick her to the curb, which you most certainly had every right to. This girl's trash. But we all have to go through bad experiences to learn, and some of us have to learn the hard way. He says, near the end of the relationship, she openly refused to come visit me and said she would rather spend time with her friend, the one mentioned earlier. She refused all affection from me and would always pull the "I have a lot in my mind" card. I started to suspect I was being cheated on, but I didn't know. I never met her friends, so I very easily could have. There's another red flag. She never introduced you to any of her friends. What does that say? I don't know for sure, but as they say, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Dude, there's a billion red flags going on here, and unfortunately, because this guy's so wrapped up into her, he refuses to see him. So eventually, I started to have enough. Hallelujah. And my close friends were pissed because the whole thing was dragging me down. And I was already super stressed out with school. I was taking multiple 300 and 400 level classes that semester. Dude, this is your purpose. You're in college now. You're taking these higher level classes that you said. And all this drama and her is dragging down your studies and your grades. No. Nobody. This is your purpose now. What you do now is going to continue to set the course of where you go. Do well in school, do well in your tests in school, leads you to get the right kind of job, and so on and so forth, okay? Which will lead to where your status, your money, all that. Don't let some crazy broad bring turmoil into your life and affects your grades. No. And this goes to all you guys out there. Purpose first. Purpose, your goals, your ambitions come before girls. Always. They are dead last. What happens when you make girls, dating, women, your purpose, your top priority? It doesn't end well for guys like that. But the guys that really have all the women crawling all over them and literally pining for them all the time are the ones that make them dead last in the order of importance. Meanwhile, their goals and making something of themselves and doing all the things they dream of and want to accomplish, and of course making a ton of money, that comes first. I know I say these things a lot, but I cannot stress that enough, guys. So, needless to say, after constant arguing, things with me and Jay finally ended. I was ecstatic. I danced around listening to some upbeat Paramore music and went out that night to a Young Life Club meeting, and I'm very involved in my college's Young Life Club. Awesome, bro. It took you long enough, but great job getting rid of her. Okay? It is what it is, but you got rid of her. Good. After my relationship with Jay was over, she posted on Facebook a few weeks later that she had a new boyfriend. Oh, there's a big freaking surprise. Trust me, she didn't just find this guy like that. Well, she probably could if she was good looking, but probably this dude was in the picture the majority of the time when things were going bad. She was with that dude getting some D when she was giving you the whole song and dance, like My Neck Hurt, or some crap, or game night with her family, or some BS like that. That sucks, and I'm sure it hurt, but I'm not surprised. And she posted it the night before my birthday on Facebook, which was an odd coincidence to me. But I haven't spoken to Jay in months, since she had pulled the "I still care about you and let's still be friends" card. Of course she said that. She wants to keep you around. The best thing you do, I would just have absolutely nothing to do with her. Quite frankly, I would block her on Facebook, block her on Instagram. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, don't do that because it shows them that they got to you. But quite frankly, since this was all new and your emotions could kind of go like a roller coaster, save yourself a lot of trouble and block her, block them. That way then you're not going to drink and text or drink and message and get drunk one night and message her and say a bunch of things that you shouldn't. And next thing you know, you're going over to her, and you know how this goes. I also discovered listen to this. I also discovered at the end of the relationship, she went full adult star online. There's no surprise. What I tell you about the girls with daddy issues, they don't get enough love and support and comfort from their fathers. So therefore, they got to get it every dude in town, and they got to get constant attention from guys. And there you go, adult star online, obviously making certain graphic videos and things like that. I don't need to elaborate. I got to watch what I say here because this is YouTube. Needless to say, after the relationship ended, I finally learned how to value myself and how to stop going above and beyond for someone who refuses to do the same for me. Right. It's one thing if you're doing these nice things for your girlfriend and she reciprocates. You know, she's great to you and treats you well and is excited to see you. And you don't have to literally beg for her to come see you. You know, and she's loyal, supportive, and has your back, and is cool, and all those things. Now, sure, in the beginning, she put on the front that she was like that, but it was short-lived. Okay, only then. But if you're getting bad behavior, no. That's usually the time to jump ship. I don't plan to make the same mistakes ever again. I'm no longer Mr. Nice Guy who'll do anything and everything for a girl. I still plan on being a good guy, but I know my worth and I know what not to do. Thanks for reading, SSM. And P.S. I recommended your channel to friends of mine, and your channel has helped me quite a bit. Thanks for being awesome. Well, bro, you're welcome. And I know it took a lot to write that story, and you probably hit your pride a little bit, but the fact is, you know darn well it happens. Nothing you can do to change it, but you share this story, you're going to help some people out by me breaking this down, critiquing it, saying where you went wrong and all that. It'll help you, help clear up some things. Hopefully what I said will help connect some dots that weren't already connected. That'll help other guys. And as for the no longer being Mr. Nice Guy to do all these things for girls who don't deserve it, stick to that. But mark my words, bro, life will test you. Guarantee in time you'll meet another girl who you're going to think is awesome and hot and all that, and you may find yourself tempted to start behaving in a similar fashion that you did right here with a girl who doesn't deserve it. Mark my words, life's going to test you. It's going to happen. I'm telling you now. It may take 5 years, but it will happen. And you're going to have to remember the lessons you learned, okay? And also, you may end up attracting a girl into your life that may have some drama and family issues as well, like this one. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care how amazing she is in the sack. I don't care how cool she is and goes TP cars with your friends, like you mentioned earlier, or whatever. If she's got these signs, these red flags, walk away. It's not worth it. One could say, oh, well, just, hey, hook up with her, have fun, then leave. Well, if you're not very good at being able to be detached in that area, I would just avoid it altogether. But anyhow, thanks for sharing the email. Best of luck, bro. Focus on your school. Your school and your grades, that's going to get you where you want to be. That's your purpose right now, okay? And then when you're out of school and you're on the job, then your job, or whatever you're going to be doing for income, that becomes your purpose. Doing your job to keep your job, and then also doing what you can to get that promotion or some other things to improve yourself. Purpose first, girls last. Cannot stress that enough. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.